Hi, my name is Tom Siko. I'm the Eastern U.S. Regional Sales Manager for Rosco Architectural. Today, we're going to take a look at the Rosco X-Effects and talk about what the X-Effects is, how it's used. We're going to unbox a fixture so you can see what comes in the box. And then we're going to get one up and running and set it up and teach a little bit more about how to actually configure the unit after you open one. So let's first start talking about what is the X-Effects. Rosco has manufactured gobo and pattern technology for many years, and beginning with the image spot, Rosco dove into the projector market. The X-Effects is our latest dynamic projector. Dynamic meaning it has movement and it can move. This uses an LED light engine, and it can project both gobos, dichroics, and other glass combinations. This is the latest technology in effects projectors from Rosco. Our previous version of this was the X24, which was a non-LED version projector. That has since been discontinued. And then in 2022, we added to our X-Effects product line with the high output version. The standard version is still available, which is a 45-watt version. And then we also now have the high output, which is a 90-watt version. And this really was designed to give designers more light output in higher ambient light environments. So let's take a look at what makes up the X-Effects. The X-Effects is a compact IP65 rated fixture for both indoor and outdoor applications. It can be mounted via the yoke on a surface mount or in a pole mount accessory. There are really no limitations on the angle or direction in the configuration of mounting. It can be mounted sideways, backwards, up and down, straight down. The fixture will operate in all different configurations. It can be operated either standalone or via DMX, and there is RDM available for fixture configuration. There are multiple lens options, including 19, 30 degree, 50 degree, and 70 degree. Lenses are sold separately and should be specified along with the projector. And then using different lenses allows designers to manipulate the size and output of the projector, as well as changing the look of the projector. Inside the projector is the mechanics and the technology to make this happen. As you'll see, there is a center static slot, and this is where most commonly a dichroic will go. This part of the projector does not move. Surrounding that center slot is a series of small magnets that can hold shuttering system, and we'll get into that during our configuration section. You can also specify a dichroic pattern or color that can either go into the static slot or into one of the two spinning effects wheels. Each one of these effects wheels can move independently of each other, and you can control speed and direction independently, either on board the fixture or via DMX. Rosco has hundreds of different configurations to choose from in our gobo catalog, including prismatics or color waves. In addition, we can also create custom artwork and turn your design into a projected reality. X-Effects comes in 4 different variants. There's a 5500K standard, a 5500K high output, an RGBW standard, or an RGBW high output. The 5500K version is extremely popular with X-Effects users given its lower cost and brilliant output at 1500 lumens or 3000 lumens in the high output version. Color can be changed using dichroics and effects wheels in the 5500K version. The RGB version offers the most amount of dynamic colors. By combining the white chip with red, blue, and green, you can dial in beautiful colors, including amazing pastels. All variants come with a power and data cable. This cable is not terminated and designed for permanent installation. The X-Effects weighs 9 pounds for a standard version or 13 pounds for the high output. So let's do a little unboxing and take a look what comes with the X-Effects. We have our box direct from Rosco. And once you open this up, there are a couple important pieces right on top. The first thing you'll find is this box. And this box contains the glass that comes with the projector. When you open this up, you will find an Allen key, which is used to adjust the yoke of the fixture. And then each fixture comes with two of the water-ish effects wheels. And these are most common for some of the standard effects that the RGB or the 5500K or RGB X effects are used. So that is what comes in that little box. And again, this is right on top. Make sure you don't lose this box because this contains very important parts of the projector. Next up is the power cable. Because the fixture is IP65 rated, it does come with a weatherproof cylindrical connector. This is the part that would go directly into the fixture. You'll notice on the other end of the cable, it is not terminated. This is just bare end wire and designed to be installed into a junction box or permanently installed into the building. It's just very important that our users and designers understand that this fixture does not natively come with connectors installed. Those connections need to be made after the fact in a permanently installed fashion. Also, very important is the user guide. If this gets lost, this is always available at rosco.com, but this really does go through a lot of the important details about the fixture. And then beyond that is the fun part. Here's your X-Effects. All right, let's get the fixture set up. We're going to use a X-Effects high output. The high output is a little bit longer in the heat sink than the standard X-Effects. The first thing we need to do is remove this front plate. The front cover comes off by removing 4 screws or loosening the 4 screws on the front plate. These are cam screws, so they do not come out of the holes. They just loosen, and a couple of turns will get them loose. And then once you're done, you can pull that off and the front plate comes off. Next thing you want to do is you want to install your dichroic in the center slot if you're going to be using the static slot. So go ahead and take that and you can insert that right here. Make sure as you're inserting it, you push it in around the outside. Do not push directly on the glass. Go ahead and give that a firm push around the outside, and you really want it to be pretty flush with the back of the fixture. Again, don't force it in, just kind of gingerly work it around until it's sitting in there flat. If you're wondering what these dots are around the static slot, these are actually framing system. So you can order an accessory from Rosco, which are these small framing shutters. And these are basically magnets that you can then lay over top. And we have 2 different sizes to be able to frame out the image the way you want. So if you're putting this and projecting it on a wall with a soffit, or you're trying to keep it off of a piece of a wall, the shuttering system can be used. Keep in mind though that these need to be installed when you're putting the fixture together, and that does require a little bit of trial and error. And these are pretty good magnets that hold these pieces on. As you can see as I'm pulling this up, those hold on pretty well. So now that you've got the static slot installed, you can go ahead and install your effects wheels. And again, it depends on how you're using the fixture. If you're not using anything in the static slot, you wouldn't install anything. I'm actually not, so I'm going to go ahead and remove this, and you can see there's a little notch here, and I'm just going to give it a little raise with my screwdriver, and that will pop right out. There you go. So what I'm going to do though is I'm going to install 2 effects wheels. So the first one I'm going to install is a magenta sparklet wheel, and I'm going to put that in the lower slot. So you see there are 2. One is raised up a little bit than the other. You always want to install the lower one first. So the first thing you'll do is you'll pull this back and you will install and drop it into the fixture like so. And it does take a little bit to get it onto these 2 gliders. So you want these 2 wheels to be engaging, and you want these 2. And actually, I just did that upside down. So let's talk about why. There is a smooth side and more of a channeled side to every single one of our effects. So you want the smooth side to be up, as you want the smooth side on your other one to be against it. So you don't want them to be like this or like this. You want them to end up being like this. So I'm going to reinstall this with the smooth side up and get that pushed in. And then I always just do like a little push on it and then a turn of the wheel to make sure that that is working correctly. And then on the upper wheel, I'm going to go ahead and put this in. This is a standard bubble. standard effect from Rosco. This is actually one of the effects that the fixture comes with. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in the upper slot. And again, same deal. I'm going to pull back on the roller and install it and make sure that it is level. So I will give both of these a spin, make sure I'm not hearing anything. And now you're set. So now you can go ahead and put the cover back on. And same process as putting it together. 4 screws. Cam screws are really easy to put back together. It's nice that they live in the lid so you don't risk losing them. And there you go. So obviously the next step is to put the lens on, but I actually prefer to do this a little bit differently. So I'm going to go ahead and connect the power. The reason I do this differently is so you can set the fixture down all the way on the flat side. And here's your power cable. And you're going to notice on the power cable that there is a notch on the bottom of the multi-connector. And you want that notch to line up with the notch that's on the bottom of the connector. So we'll go ahead and align that, give it a push and a few turns, and this multi-connector will slide right in. There you go. So now the fixture has a connector attached to it. And now I will go ahead and install the lens. So I'm just going to tip that back for a moment. Rosco's lenses are an accessory. They do not come with a fixture, so you're going to need to specify which X-Effects you're looking for, as well as the lens. In this case, I'm going to use a 50 degree. So let's open up this. And all we're going to do is we're going to take the lens and screw it into the fixture. I don't screw it all the way in because you're going to want to adjust the lens. So I just give it a few turns so it's secure in there, so it's not going to fall out while you're hanging the fixture. And there you go. Now you're ready to install, and now we'll power up the fixture and take a look at how the fixture operates and what it looks like. On the rear of the fixture are 3 control knobs. Now the fixture can operate in DMX mode, and when that is active, all of the controls would be done via DMX. However, in this case, we're going to operate via standalone. So the bottom knob is actually for dim control. So this would be from 0 to full on the lamp, and you have a pretty good dimming curve all the way down to 0. So set that where you want it. And then the other 2 knobs are going to be for the effects wheels, both speed and direction. So when the knobs are in the center, the wheels will be not moving. And by turning to the right or to the left, you can change the direction and then the speed of the wheels. So the further you turn the wheel, the more speed you will get out of that individual wheel. These 2 wheels can operate independently of each other. You can have one completely static and the other one moving very, very fast. Conversely, you can have them both moving in opposite directions, which is a very popular effect for the X-Effects. And this way, one wheel is going to be spinning slowly this way. The other one would be spinning slowly this way. So that is really the onboard control that you have with the X-Effects. Okay, so now we're going to turn on the fixture and take a look. So the first thing we're going to do is turn up the dimmer. And ooh, there's that magenta spark light. Ooh, so cool. And as you can see right now, nothing is really moving. I have everything kind of stopped. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start to turn one wheel towards the right. That's going to get that moving. And then I'm going to turn the other wheel moving the other direction and try and get that counter flow so it really looks like almost like a magenta yellow fire. And you have control to be able to increase the speed so we can get it going quite fast, or we can slow it down and we can get that look exactly the way we want it. Now the other trick is to run the barrel. So by adjusting the focus of the fixture, we can actually change the effect. And this involves moving the lens further away or closer to the actual effects. And in a lot of cases like this, you can get
really sharp, almost like falling clouds of yellow coming out of this effect. So a very cool effect, and that's how you set up, unbox, and really get the X-Effects running.
Now that you fully understand how the X-Effects works, let's unleash your creativity. Recently, Nick Diaz, one of our Rosco ambassadors and a lighting designer, has created a number of recipe videos. These are designed to poke at your design and inspiration. These videos involve using standard Rosco gobos and dichroics to create amazing looks and far beyond what is normally used for this fixture, which is fire, water, and aurora. So I'd encourage you to check out our Rosco YouTube page and see more about these Nick Diaz recipe videos. I hope this video has provided a really great foundation for the X-Effects and the unlimited potential of this fixture. Please contact your Rosco manufacturer rep or regional salesperson to schedule a demo and talk more about X-Effects. Thank you so much for watching.